Do you want her on your team, or do you want to be against her?
It doesn't matter. It's mostly theory stuff because you really need to play against an entire team to like demonstrate. Let's talk about stuff first, and then if we need to like put it into action, we'll figure it out. So first I want to hear from you and like get your thoughts on how you play Hammond and what like what's your approach to fighting like a standard bunker comp, for example.
Booping Orisa if they're on high ground is usually booping somebody off the high ground to initiate. It plays, to me, Hammond plays a lot like Tracer, but I think you mentioned him playing a lot like Doofus, which I would say
he is. You don't want to use all your cooldowns. Like, you want to use your hook to get in there, but you don't want to like not have like your E. Let's say, like I feel I use my E to get away safely with a lot of health if like I dive in there and do some damage, shit like that. But again, I don't play a ton of ball.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I do go in there, I slam, and then I usually press E. Depending on how much damage I'm taking,
your E is adaptive. It's adaptive. So when you're around one person, it gives you a certain
before when you used to have to be out of ball form in order to use your shields, that used to be how you do it. You would slam and then you would press E. But now you want to actually press E directly before you slam. Unless you're like swinging way above them, most of the time you'll get all the like the extra shields. You'll get all of that if you just swing above them. So as you're about to hit your slam button, which I actually mapped to my mouse, that might be something you want to right before you hit slam, you wanna hit that E. So, and the reason for that is if they do chain CC on you, if you get flashbanged out of your slam and then they sleep you and then they hook you, you just kind of get deleted. You can survive all of that if you use your shields first, and you only give up like half your actual health pool. So hitting those adaptive shields early is definitely important. As for attacking this, you're right. You definitely do want to come behind here and swing and knock everybody off. The biggest thing I've learned with playing Hammond is making sure your team is patient enough for you to set up your rollout. And in that sense, he's a lot like Doomfist. You, like, on this map, when we start the attack, I'll tell my team, like, play at the corner, play super slow, wait until I'm behind them. And sometimes I'll mess up my first grapple, and I'll tell them, keep playing slow until we get that good boop and initiate on that. Because, like, Hammond isn't a tank that fights long fights. Everything with him has to be super quick and efficient. So,
yeah, that's why I said he's guerrilla warfare themed.
Yeah, like we used to play a lot of Hammond comps on my team last season, and we would, like, our fights when we won them would be super fast, super clean. And when we lost them, it would also be super fast and just like somebody got CC'd, it didn't work, go again. So that's kind of one of the cool things about Hammond is you do get to take fights a little faster. But your team has to be ready. What was the analogy I used? It's like a fire hose. Like, the moment you release that nozzle, you better send, like, everybody in with your Hammond. So...
dive, it does require, like, a lot of coordination.
Yeah,
our team really needs to practice. We only play, like, Tiger ever, and when I play... Like, I play a lot of Winston, too. So... I think we need to practice dive. That's just the general sense.
The thing with Hammond is more disruption than dive. If you want to play pure dive, I still think Winston is a better pick. Hammond excels when you're trying to also just make the opposing team as uncomfortable as possible while your team's not fighting them. So, for example, like, as a Zenyatta player on the opposing team, you want that Zen to always be worried about being next to his other healer. Because he doesn't know where you're coming from. Because he doesn't know where you're going to slam on him from. And that leads into another good point, which is picking your 1v1s. Because, like, as much as Overwatch isn't really a game you want to take 1v1s, Hammond is a hero that takes a lot of them. and you got to know which ones you can win and which ones you can't, and which ones and what kind of mutators can affect that 1v1. I recommend playing free for all, either with Hammond or with Tracer, because they kind of, like you said, Hammond is very similar to Tracer. Anything that would kind of wreck Tracer would also wreck Hammond. So for example, McCree, if you want to fight a McCree,
Oh yeah.
it's super possible to kill a McCree. Like, he's one of my favorite targets to go after is Hammond.
I actually love killing McCree as Tracer.
But you gotta have,
And
you gotta ask your team to let you know when the flash is down, or listen for it yourself. Most of McCree's skins will say like "whoa there" or like "stop running" or something. So if you listen for him saying that voice line, that's a good cue for you to be like, okay, I can kill the McCree now.
You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. I always try to hear like the pop from the flashbang, and I'm like, I don't understand how anybody could hear these things like going off.
Nope, it's the voice line that gives it away. Yeah, he said, "Hold up now." So yeah, similarly, like Hanzo you can kill, but make sure he doesn't have his Stormbow. Even if he has his leap, you can kill him. As far as who you want to go against in like a 2-2-2 meta, you do want to focus like on the easiest target, if that makes sense. It's never gonna be the same target. Like, sometimes you might be going after a DPS, sometimes you might be hard focusing the same support and spawn camping them the whole game. No, seriously, like, I've had games on ladder where it's like, okay, I killed the Mercy that fight, you guys aren't ready to fight yet, I'm gonna go kill their Mercy again, so we'll go engage as soon as that happens.
See, look, I did flashbang you, but you
So-
didn't get flashbang by a McCree. Like, I didn't right click you.
Well, yeah, Kree has to be able to right click or hit a couple shots on the way in. Then like either right click or flash right click and then roll right click again. It is a hard matchup for Kree, but he is one of the ones you got to watch out for, especially if he has heals.
He's with his team.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a Baptiste on the other team, don't be scared if he has immortality field a lot of the time, because your hook grapple is so low that you can get everybody to 1 HP and then just swing into them and hit them out of the field. And I find myself doing that a lot lately with a lot more Baptiste in the meta.
Them out of the mortalities?
Yeah, just come at them from the side and just be like, you're not standing under the disc anymore, you can die now. When you grapple, where do you generally like stick your grapple?
I do not play Hammond like ever.
Okay.
But
She's like, good question. I don't know.
Fair enough. No, good answer. A lot of Hammonds will just only grapple like the wall next to them.
Oh yeah, high. I grapple high if I want to go vertically, and then if I don't want to stay horizontal, I grapple low.
I would go as far to say always grapple high, because even if you want to go like on the ground, a high grapple will do the same thing as a low grapple, but give you the option of swinging up and slamming. Do you know like the scoop and slam combo?
I've never actually attempted
you're
it. Yeah,
once.
14 health, yeah.
You basically just swing into them, and then as soon as you get high enough, because of the swing, you slam. So you catch them in the slam, you hit them with the swing. That should be around 120 to 150 damage, and you barely have to aim at them to kill them. If you hit your cooldowns, it's really easy to kill things with Hammond. Now, as far as like the biggest mistake I see Hammond players make, if you're out of ball form for more than like 3 to 4 seconds, you're not playing the character right. His guns
you don't
are
want to be shooting.
exactly. His guns are meant to finish things off, they're not his main tool. if you try to kill something by just shooting at it, you're gonna find yourself running out of ammo and having to reload, and his reload takes a long time. I usually just go into ball form for 2 seconds rather than wait for the reload animation.
So it's to come out to confirm a kill, basically.
Exactly. Convert your slams, like chase people, swing into them, and then flip into whatever and just spray them down. A couple nice like techs you can do with Hammond. If you're like, come to the edge over here. So I want you to swing full speed this way and stop yourself at the edge. Like swing and stop at the very edge. Like stop right here.
Oh. Oh god. Oh god.
Try to be a fireball like until you pass the building.
Like god, I feel like I'm gonna end up killing myself. Alright, let's do this. Alright.
Weapons linked. Navigating.
Is there a secret stopping there?
Oh, whoops.
Deball yourself.
So yeah, so the trick I'm trying to teach you, and it's kind of hard to demonstrate, but like a lot of the time you're gonna be like going really fucking fast and out of control, and you'll find yourself near an edge, and rather than like hold S and try to stop yourself that way, if you press the fire button, you'll instantly stop momentum. So like watch down this hallway.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really good for initiation stuff too, because like you swing right into them and then you're shooting. Oh, whoops.
They have a teacher's fuck big.
I'm trying to find you right
I
now.
might need this later. I'm out of here.
Another Hammond tech which I mentioned earlier is you never want to sit through that reload animation. You definitely just like go into ball form and get behind cover or something.
Yeah,
Abusing.
after a certain amount of time, he reloads in his mech. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's like 1.7 seconds. It's close to 2 seconds. So I just get in ball form until I see my ammo's back.
The cooldowns for Hammond shorter, or these are his actual cooldowns?
These are his actual cooldowns. So the longest cooldown is gonna be your adaptive shields. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're shot calling for your team and setting up each fight around your rollouts, that cooldown shouldn't really be an issue. It's not like you're gonna the only time that becomes a problem is when you go in, try to do something, use your shields, and then you feel like you want to go in right away again.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with Hammond, is like you can't afford to do that.
Yeah. I noticed that just like naturally when I played him, that every time I went back in, I always had adaptive shield up. So to go back in without it, actually no, I do go back in without it sometimes, but I feel like it was more. Oh, you said open it, babe? I don't even know what you said, but I'm doing it. Whatever. So yeah, no, I've noticed that like the timing for it isn't that bad. It's when I get eager that I don't have it on me, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's right, I just used it. But normally the timing I haven't had a problem with being like, oh my god, the timing's so fucking long. So yeah, it actually makes sense.
Yeah, so you do have a pretty good sense, it sounds like, of like what you got to watch out for, but Hammond will teach you that even more. Just like you need to be aware of all 6 heroes' capabilities on the opposing team, because you're going to be dealing with all 6 of them on a consistent basis. It's not like the tanks mostly dealing with other tanks like they do.
Yeah, they all look at you.
Like Hammond rolling through, especially like when they go Sombra, because like I'll play Hammond into Sombra, into May, and it's really fucking tough. But the trick is you play like you're a Sombra, kind of. You play like you're a Doomfist. You don't let them see you until your team's like already on them and doing things. You know the minefield combo?
Pretty sure. You swing up into the air, you minefield, and then you slam.
Yep. There are some exceptions. and that combo is kind of less relevant now with the Hammond changes. So other situations, because like when you're using mines like that, it's generally to open a fight. So if you're using that combo, it's because they have like trance. It's because they have immortality field. It's because they have something where you know you're not gonna get complete value, so you're gonna go for what could be a one-tap combo to bait out whatever they have.
Oh, so it could be used as a bait. Also.
Yeah. I use it as a bait a lot of the time because while the mines are out, Hammond immediately starts regenerating his ult. You don't have to wait for the minefield to go away.
Does he get ult off of the mine?
No. But like if the mines get somebody low and then you start shooting them, all your shooting will get ult charge. So basically what I'm saying is like,
so like Ash
say
and Bob.
yeah.
When Bob sent out that she could still be game.
Yeah, exactly. Where that kind of works best is when you're against a Baptiste. So if you go and use your minefield combo on a Baptiste and they use immortality field and your team doesn't focus, doesn't kill him, you're probably like 60% ult charge at least by the time that fight resolves, just because dropping your mines that early and fighting for that long with Hammond and like staying in a fight because they use the immortality, you're gonna be like swinging through them, you're gonna be doing all sorts of stuff to farm ult, and that would be one of the situations where you do have like your mines plus Lucio ult to help you stay in. That would be like one of the only times you actually do stay in as Hammond. What else could help you stay in? If you know you're...
Are you saying stay in?
Yeah, stay, because like...
Stay in the fight?
Yeah, stay in the fight. So like, the majority of the time as Hammond, you're not staying in the fight. You're just like, you're doing your shit, you're getting out, you're going back in. You're doing your shit, you're getting out, going back in. Like, it's rinse and repeat.
It could be any... Well, no, they don't do 4 DPS anymore, because I know when Ball was
actually
with 4 DPS,
went off,
and like
okay.
Mercy. Yeah, Somber attack is broken.
So 4 DPS was the 4 DPS was the best because it wasn't like, oh, let's just overpower their other tank while Hammond's off setting up and doing things.
Yeah. That was the one time I actually played Hammond. Like when I play quick play and everyone picks DPS and there's like one healer, I'm like, whatever, I'll just play Hammond.
Yeah, and that worked because then like you enable the Mercy all sorts of ways. You enable your snipers and whatnot. So
you were like Mercy's taxi back then. That's literally what Hammond's job was. Just fly Mercy around, get her places, and charge.
well, yeah, but also the Pharah in that comp was super crucial too. But nowadays I would definitely recommend playing Hammond with Pharmacy. Their synergy is really nice, especially in the lower ranks. If you have like a somewhat competent Pharah player, all you do is like spam them with damage, force them to group up and like heal, and then Hammond goes in and does his stuff, and Pharah follows up on that. We kind of abused that last season once we got a good Pharah player, and it was fun.
See you later.
Other Hammond tricks.
Is there a way to actually control your... Because like when I'm spinning around this thing, I can only spin like I know it's in a circle obviously, but like is there a way to go low to the ground, higher to the ground? Like should my camera angle be a different way? Oh.
Like this? Yeah, you can use your camera angle to adjust like your spin pattern.
Which helps you so much with slamming things randomly.
Yeah, especially with the scoop combo. Because like if you're just spinning around up in the air like this, you're not even hitting anything most of the time. But if you're spinning low to the ground, or you're just like swinging down whenever you get to their team, you get to do fun stuff. Hammond's guns are
actually 1 health, dude. Like one full health.
Hammond's guns are much better than Tracer's at range. So don't be afraid to like focus down half health Pharahs and stuff. Oh, Pharahs are really fun to kill because like you can focus them down until they're 50 HP and then you just swing up into the air and slam and like hit them with your fireball.
Oh,
It's the greatest way to kill something in the game.
Can somebody go far out? I kind of want to try to do that.
Do it up.
Also,
Yeah, actually I've done that during a scrim on this map and it felt so rewarding. But what I was also gonna say is like if there is a Pharah without a mercy, you can swing up to her and get like into her face and then start spraying her while you're in her face.
Oh, so like shoot myself, propel myself upwards, and as I'm
And then
floating
like
right
at the apex, yeah, there you go, exactly.
Okay,
It takes a second to get used to like aiming out a ball form. But once you get comfortable with that, you'll get really good at following up on your cooldowns.
Shit! Oh, there goes my grapple.
But honestly, like just stay as high as you can in the sky, Widow, and see how much Hammond's guns can do to Pharah at that range.
you know what? Let me turn. Actually, no. I'll have to restart the game. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say, hold on. I might boost that a bit now.
Oh, decent.
So like you're not gonna focus her down by yourself ever, unless she's like already low from somebody else. But what you can do, especially in a team setting, is keep the Pharah honest. So like if you don't have a hit scan on your team, or if your hit scan's struggling or like dead or something, you can be the one.
Poke her so she can't
Exactly.
really play too aggressively.
Exactly. And that's something Hammond does as a main tank that no other main tank can really do. Is just like keep a Pharah away from his team. What are other cool techs? Obviously, if you have like ramps in the game like this, you don't have to swing up, you just like swing off and you can get the slam.
I've seen some Hammonds. Sorry, I'm so okay. I've seen some Hammonds like jump on a wall and then.
Oh
slam.
yeah, I forgot about that. That's a thing too. So
I'm dying here, babe. Oh, jeez.
She took a huge rip to see if she's
Yeah.
already your prodigy. Look at her.
hell yeah.
Enemy contact.
Ow! Okay, that hurt.
Wait, did they patch it? Oh no, there it is. Wait, I think they might have patched it.
Behind rocket barrage incoming.
System restored.
My favorite thing to do is Hammond is kill a fucking Pharaoh with these. I've done
With
it so many
what?
times.
Mines?
With his fucking mine.
Because they stick on the wall and they don't see them.
Yeah.
Dude, I do that in Lijiang Garden all the time.
Oh my god.
In the little gazebo in the middle of the point. Because they fly in and they're just like, I got this, I'll contest. And then they get popped.
No, I literally have a fucking. I was doing my DPS play with I played Sombra. He had a fucking Hammond on fucking.
You can keep your.
Oasis.
You can keep your grapple up and switch directions if you do it at the right time, and that can mess with people that are trying to time their CCs. So like if you see a Reinhardt or a Roadhog just stop moving and stand in place and look at you spinning, they're probably about to like either pin you or hook you or whatever. So what I'll usually do is I'll go around this way and then I'll just stop back here. And they might waste their cooldown, and then I swing back around the other way and keep doing the thing. Yeah, I think they might have patched the Hammond wall climbing. I wonder when they did that. The payload works. You can jump off your enemies' heads to do it. Like literally, if you just roll off. Hold on, stay in place. Let me see if it works if you're a ball. Well, you can stay in ball form. Let me just. I might need speed. There we go. So yeah, I think you need speed to do it. But You can do that on pretty much any curved surface where you just kind of like shoot yourself up. The biggest thing with Hammond, honestly, as fucking stupid as it sounds, is just putting mad hours on him. Because understanding the way the momentum works and how you can utilize momentum, like if you're staying at top momentum most of the time in a fight, you can do a lot of really disruptive things.
Alright.
And that's where he excels, is like as a disruptor for sure. Not so much as it.
With rollouts for like contesting points at the end.
So that's tricky because like sometimes you're like, oh, I want to get out of spawn fast, let me just use my grapple and grapple out of spawn.
Yeah.
But usually it's like you want to grapple through the spawn door. That'll get you there the fastest. Or are you talking about like specific points, not overtime?
Mostly overtime, like last points. That's when I play Hammond the most.
Got you.
Ice wall coming up.
Yeah, getting through doors with him is really just practice and understanding the importance of your grapple length. Because you can just grapple through a door super fine if you measure properly, but if you don't, you'll hit a wall and and feel stupid.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And I'm just like, shit. Now I'm slowed before, and like probably throwing right now.
Letting go of grapple at the right time, once you get used to that, will help with that. But a lot of it is just like, he's very much a what's it called? He's like a Genji type character where you really have to have a feel for his, like the way he moves and the way he wants to fight. And that's something you only really get from putting time into him. Oh, here's a good spot. So yeah, if there's like a staircase or something, you get to just jump off and pile drive. Oh no. Oh, they nerfed the shit out of him actually this last patch. So the last patch, or before this last patch, you used to, if you dropped your mines low enough, they would, like one mine would boop them into the other. If that makes sense. Like the explosion from one would knock them into the other mine. So you would do 260 damage because each one does under 30. You would do a 260 damage burst and kill anything that's not a tank, basically. They made his mine spread out more, so that doesn't really happen anymore. So you have to make sure you're either able to focus the targets or your team is available to do so. Otherwise, minefield as an offensive ult will do very little. As a defensive ult though, and I really like Hammond on defense, save it for when they have to be somewhere.
Did you see my play of the game? No, we're playing ball against fucking Ether, and I just dropped mines on the point in overtime.
And then they just all had to walk into him?
They all just walked into him, yeah.
Yeah, they had no choice. So, here's a good example. You know Lijiang Garden, the one with the bridges? And people always get booped off on the bridges?
You want me to go to that map?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
You guys C9'd it, though.
I was trying to get on point.
Like 100%, you guys would have won that. You just it was like that's why I wasn't like overly like coaching you guys on that point, because it was just Pepe hand like C9 and then Alucio. If one more person tells me that I'm wrong for saying that I'm mono fucking through Ilios, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna actually fucking kill myself.
Sometimes I feel like I don't know what the problem is, and
no, honestly, Ilios, you C9'd, yes, and that did lose you the game, but you guys 100% like. Hold on, let me see if I can get next map.
Yeah.
I think you just have to keep restarting.
I rewatched it and I'm like,
yeah.
I rewatched
Now
the
arriving at
game and I was
Lijiang
like,
Tower.
oh, that fucking C9. I was just like, that fucking diva, yo, she body blocked me. I was just like, you piece of shit. You know, good for you.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Is it the right map or not yet?
Nope.
Is it night market again?
No, it's control center this time.
Alright.
Now arriving at Lijiang
Night market.
Tower.
Jesus.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Guarded.
We got it.
Okay, I almost started too.
Oh god. Alright, so let me show you the place I've killed myself the most in this game.
Oh god.
Me.
I'm gonna break the railings to make it a little easier, but make this jump real quick. Just jump across to me. Without grappling, just like roll and make it.
That's
Yeah.
a possible thing.
Yeah.
Then I'm going.
No, you grappled.
Oh, you're right. I did. You're right, I'm a cheater. Cheaters never win. Oh god.
So it's possible you can jump across it, but sometimes that happens.
Oh.
I'll come rest
And
you.
I'm saying sometimes.
So
Oh, okay. It's not that bad.
you got the jump.
Yeah.
All right. So if you do it off the grass, it generally works, no problem. If you try to do it off the riser right there, it will mess you up a lot of the time because transferring from like unless you hit the jump.
A lot of movement on my screen, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you hit the jump at the perfect time. So what I was saying is like these bridges right here, it's really easy to get boops on, either from here, or you go whoops, or you get behind them early and you come here and you boop them. But eventually, after a fight or two.
Because I think I swing too far and then I'm hanging off the edge.
Oh yeah. So with this bridge in particular, I used to do that all the time, and the problem with that is you're just like holding onto your grapple. Just go for one swing. Don't try to hold that grapple and swing multiple times. If you just go for one swing, you won't hold that and swing down below.
Yeah, and then I can just kind of keep going past them.
Yeah. Yeah, you either swing through or you just like swing to the corner and back right up. Like boop and here.
And then I can even actually come back from this side.
Yeah, if you get behind, like if you swing behind them, get behind this rock, you wait what 5 seconds, 4 seconds for the cooldown, and then you can grapple the wall and just get free boops on them.
Damage increase.
This is also the cheekiest place in the world to hide.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, I noticed like on the control points that don't have the thing in the middle, I'm like, I don't know where to grapple to be consistent.
The ceiling. I always grapple ceiling whenever possible.
Sometimes there is like the ceiling, or there is no ceiling. I feel like that has to be a case.
Well, like for example, come out here. Like you could say there's no ceiling, but you got these convenient little things to grapple onto. There's always going to be some geometry, unless it's Junkertown, and these are the grapples that are harder to hit when you gotta like in the heat of a battle just like aim up and click on that real quick. But yeah, you'll always, unless you're playing Junkertown point A, you'll always have something vertical to grapple onto. So yeah, what I was saying earlier is eventually after a fight or two, they're gonna get tired of getting booped off and bottlenecked at this bridge right here, so they're gonna go into the white room. So you have two options here. You could catch them with a big ult combo here, like mines and pile drive, but what I like to do and what teams can never deal with is you wait for their tanks to push, you roll through, and then you drop mines right here. Now their tank line is committed to the point, and it works kind of like a Mei wall that kills people.
Yeah, that's
it's
tough to walk through. That's not even walk through.
So the tanks they're not allowed to back up, and their healers have to heal them through a minefield, which a lot of the time like Ana's just gonna end up shooting the mines instead sometimes, or the Lucio's gonna panic, try to get closer and die or some shit. But like I've cut off both DPS and both supports, and we like kill their tanks, and then we just go in and kill the rest of them in here. You can actually just do a quick grapple the ceiling and pile drive in here. most rooms will have a high enough ceiling where you can just grapple it for the pile drive. And a quick fireball if you grapple far enough away.
Ceilings. I honestly didn't even think about that.
Ceilings are amazing. The last point of Route 66, Hammond is really bad on it, but it's really fun to grapple on the ceiling there because you can literally grapple the entire ceiling of that point. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I've done it on like payload maps too. If I know we're gonna engage with ults, I'll drop my mines right behind the team. So normally like a roadhog ulting, you're not really that scared, but or like a soldier is ulting, all right, let's just back up, wait for it to be over. Suddenly there's a bunch of mines behind you, you can't really do that. So it's a good way to force people to play in chokes that you want them to play in. Are you familiar with the concept of a kill box?
Kill what?
Kill box.
A hitbox?
No, a kill box. So a kill box is on is when you're playing dive on certain maps, you'll pick out areas where this is the best place for us to dive them.
Enemy seen.
And that's your kill box. The moment they get there, you all jump in on them.
Okay.
So Hammond,
Everyone has an idea in their head of the exact timing.
yeah. So Hammond really likes kill boxes. Hammond really has those specific areas on the map where it's just like, yo, if you go there, I know you're fucked. On this map, it's this entire side of the map. The bridges, the outside, like, if they're on this side of the map, Hammond can fuck them up with a single grapple. So just keep in mind that if you do get caught somewhere that's not beneficial to Hammond's playstyle and doesn't give you a quick escape, it's really easy to get farmed. Hammond, like, while he's the quickest character in the game, he's also the most farmable character in the game. So while I said like you can survive cooldowns, you shouldn't aspire to survive cooldowns.
What don't you want to play Hammond into?
What don't you want to unless you're super comfortable, May, Sombra, I wouldn't play him against bunker on most maps. He's really good at disrupting low mobility comps. So
wait, bunker is kind of like low mobility though.
he can mess up bunker, but bunker does a better job at messing him up. Between the because if they're running, for example, Ana, Baptiste, Roadhog, Orisa, McCree, and something, they have a DPS, a tank, and a support, each with CC. It's gonna be really tough.
So the more CC.
Exactly. Hammond just hard loses to CC. You're a character that thrives off momentum, so the moment that momentum stopped, you're just a sitting duck. I'll generally, like, I'll play into CC, sure. I don't mind getting hooked or something, but I can't play into all their CC. That's how I guarantee I'm gonna die. So, like, if it's the very beginning of the game and I grapple up here and I just slam on their whole team, yeah, I'll get like 30-35 ult charge because I'm hitting everybody, but I'm instantly gonna get hit by all of their CC and get killed. Probably before my shields, or maybe even before my slam hits. So understanding, like, or keeping track of cooldowns is crucial with Hammond because that kind of determines how you're allowed to play in any given situation. For my example, where if they have like McCree, Ana, and Hog, if they've used 1 out of the 3 cooldowns, you could think about going in. If they've used 2 out of the 3, I would say you can definitely go in. Getting hit by 1 CC will not be the end of Hammond. He needs multiple CCs or like crazy burst damage to kill him. So Junkrat Trap. Junkrat Trap's really annoying as Hammond, actually. Like, people underestimate how good that thing is against Hammonds. He used to be able, it was the same bug that allowed him to kill the mines. He used to be able to just swing in a trap and kill it. Now, you get stuck every time. So watch out if they're playing like Junkrat Bunker. You don't always want to roll through them because they usually have a trap just set up in the bunker. In those situations, I like to just like swing for disruption, whether it's swinging their healers away from their tanks. Like, you're playing for boops a lot of the time, and like getting the most value out of those boops is dependent on what the current game state is. So like, if their tanks and supports are all full HP and their tanks don't need help and you boop their supports away, yeah, their tanks might get a little low, but you're not gonna win a team fight like that. You're gonna win team fights by disrupting at the proper times. So you need to look for that moment where like, oh, if their Ana isn't on their, like, you get their main tank to half HP. If you get on their Ana right there and make her choose between keeping herself alive and keeping her main tank alive, that's when you're gonna get maximum value. And that's why I like to say Hammond is very much more a game sense character than a mechanics character. You can win games just by having a big brain playing Hammond. You don't need to know any of his stuff as long as you're not feeding.
Woo!
You did it!
Oh my god. So nerve-wracking. No, stop it.
Oh yeah, more Hammond tech. So sometimes you just can't swing. You don't have your grapple. You just can't swing. Where you at? Come to the middle of the map. So in those situations, you want to do what's, I don't know what it's called, but you want to like cheat the game and do this. You roll off and oh, you don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
Oh, we all die here.
So I messed it up because I didn't do it with enough momentum. What you want to do is you roll towards an edge, and before you fall off the edge, you slam. Or as you're falling off the edge, you slam. So and then as you're slamming, you hold towards the ledge. There we go. So you're gonna like this is like the hardest thing by far to learn on Hammond mechanically.
Oh, it's the perfect. Okay. All right.
So like if
you need to be in the air to slam. So
yeah, if you can't get into the air, you just get off the map real quick and then you get back on.
Yeah, so you're tricking the game to think there's nothing.
Yeah, so watch me on the bridge here real quick. You swing. Oh wait, I didn't have my slam. That would have been hilarious. All right, slams back up. All right, you swing, and then you slam.
Okay, so you're actually going horizontal. Okay, okay.
You will actually go off the ledge, and then pull yourself back on.
Oh god. Okay.
It seems really scary, but you basically just want to slam that or hit your slam button right as you get to the, or right as you get off the ledge. And you can do this with any ledge. I'm sorry. Oh fuck. I fucked it up. It's not easy. It is not easy. It's definitely something like, and it's such, like, it's nice to have in your arsenal, but you won't use it that much.
Yeah.
Like I use it maybe 1 in every 10 games.
Like, if I accidentally overswung, I can save myself. So that is something like that is pretty easy. Oh, I can't grab the ground, right? Ground ungrabbable.
No. So yeah, if you need a quick grapple, you can just grab something to the side. But longer grapples are generally better because they give you more flexibility.
Oh, Bob.
Bob straight up went over you.
Game over.
Apparently the new PTR patch fixed that Bob goes, like, he never used to go where he was supposed to. And now he does.
Yeah, like getting stuck on walls that he's nowhere near. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the time that the tech I taught you where you can like stop your roll by shooting, that kind of serves the same purpose as the slam tech I just taught you. Both of them are so you can boot people off a ledge and stay on the ledge. So if there's somebody on this, oh no, I slammed and I still fell. I did it, but I was too close.
No.
Oh yeah, that's a big one to watch out for. Lucio's booping you will get like crazy amounts of ult charge. So if you're gonna go in and try to play for a boop, make sure you don't stay in, because they will counter boop you. Because like I told you, like most of the time you want to let go of grapple, so you can just like commit to your swing and follow it through. So if you do so, you're gonna end up without your cooldown for a few seconds, and if they boop you in those few seconds, it's the easiest kill of their life.
Do you trust me?
I think that's pretty much it. Are there any like questions or things you don't understand or anything?
I kind of don't like it now.
Now.
Just like grind them in quick play or find like play him on an alt and comp and just play the fuck out of him. That's where you really get comfortable. Because comfort level on the hero is really big. It's like it's the same with Genji. Like I've always said Hammond is the Genji of tanks, because not in terms of playstyle, but in terms of like you need to commit to learning him and getting comfortable on him if you really do want to play him. So
I flex a lot, so that was why I like kind of avoided him like that. Because I flex a lot and I'm like I already like use so many heroes that I'm not really good at like any one. I'm just like really good at everybody.
I feel it.
You know, like obviously. Well, I don't know, but whatever. I don't play comp, so.
Yeah, we just want to make sure you and Bad both have Hammond, because going monkey to stall is such Pepe, and like he's good if you already have a Hammond for stall, but running monkey hog will never be happening again. Yes, we agree.
Oh yeah. So you're saying don't go monkey when we have hogs. So always ball better.
Ball gets there faster, and he's generally a more disruptive stall character. Like monkey's great and all, but ball charges ult faster than monkey.
Not to mention, like, if something's low, ball is the best hero in the game to get after it. Like, if your teammates are good at making calls during, like, overtime, like, oh, I died, but I got this thing to 1 HP type stuff. If you start chasing 1 HP targets as Hammond, you'll get insane value. And you'll light up the kill feed and look really good while you're doing it.
The same thing like Tracer. With Tracer, you want to go after things that are really low, or dash things that are really low, like a Genji.
Yeah,
Even Diva.
your only real burst damage is your pile drive, so don't expect to do tons of damage. Well, you're old too, but yeah. Don't expect to do tons of damage. Just do your best at putting the damage in the right places to get maximum value. Because, like, I could spray at a main tank all day as Hammond, but that's generating 0 value for my team.
You walked into that one.
Yeah, I know. I accidentally came out of ball form, and then I was like, oh fuck.
I can't get out.
Shit, I did it again.
Don't underestimate grapple as a means to disrupt ultimates as well.
Yeah.
You can boot Bob out of LOS. You can boot McCree's. that are ulting. You can boop. You can boop an ulting Genji. That's the funniest thing, dude. When they nano a Genji and you boop him away from your team, and you just all laugh at him and spray at him, and he dies. Dude, it's hilarious. Like, they use 2 ults. They use 2 ults, and I used 1 cooldown and destroyed it. What else is really good to disrupt?
That's like grabbing a fucking ulti Genji, big Pepe hands.
Yeah. Actually, you can. I've done it like once or twice. It's kind of niche, but you can grapple up into a Pharah and have her kill herself on your body. You gotta have like adaptive shields up for that, though. I'm pretty sure she'll do too much damage if you go for that. Generally, actually, when somebody is ulting, when a DPS on the other team is ulting, you want them to ult you. As Hammond. Yeah, but most of the time you shouldn't. Most of the time, like, if a soldier's ulting, if a Genji's ulting, if they're focusing you instead of your squishies, you should be getting the support and help, focus help that you need to get rid of whatever's on you. The only exception would be like Nanoblade will probably cut through you before you guys can do anything. But the majority of the time, like, what is it? I think it's minimum 800 if you have your adaptive shields up. They need to get through 800 HP. So.
Or just go into 6 people and be a 1200 HP ball.
Well, yeah, but worst case scenario, and you're like looking at an ulting soldier. You're an 800 HP fucking wall he has to break through.
Yeah, imagine yourself as a trans. Like, you're an immortal fucking LOL. Like, it's gonna take them so long.
Yeah, if I'm ever playing Hammond against Soldier, I roll into his face and I shoot at him until he's dead. And make sure he's shooting at me.
I'm trying to follow you because you're like...
I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, you can't teabag with Hammond, so make sure you equip a good spray and a good emote. And if you get a good boop, just emote. It doesn't matter if your team loses the fight. According to OCC rules, you are allowed to emote. It's not BM.
Alright, I appreciate it.
No problem. Now I want to play Hammond.